Hey, is my kid over here?
Forget it, false alarm.
Oh, that's funny. That's even more humorous than that joke you told us last night.
Lois Griffin, I'll find you guilty, and I'll sentence you to pay your roommate back for his dog food. Or whatever dumb this one's about.
For 21 years, one man was Cleveland Brown. But in 2020, one tweet changed everything, and it ripped the internet apart. Mike Henry wasn't just another voice actor on Family Guy. He was Cleveland since the very first episode back in 1999. Hundreds of episodes, his own spin-off show, even Cleveland's stepson, Rollo. And then, out of nowhere, June 26th, 2020, in the middle of America's most heated conversation about race and representation, Mike Henry drops this. It's been an honor to play Cleveland on Family Guy for 20 years. I love this character, but persons of color should play characters of color. Therefore, I will be stepping down from the role. That's it. No scandal, no leaked emails, no angry producers, just one public statement, and the world of animation flipped upside down. Twitter exploded within minutes. One fan wrote, "Finally, Cleveland gets a real voice." Another shot back, "This is woke nonsense and it's ruining comedy." But this wasn't just about Cleveland Brown. This was about every character of color in animation. And this one decision would trigger a Hollywood chain reaction nobody saw coming. To understand why this one tweet exploded, you need to know the unspoken rule in animation for decades. Anyone could play anyone. Race, gender, background, it didn't matter. If you nailed the voice, the job was yours. That's why for over 20 years, a white actor voiced Cleveland, a black character, and nobody in the mainstream questioned it. Over on The Simpsons, white actors voiced Apu, Dr. Hibbert, and Carl Carlson. In Family Guy, Asian reporter Trisha Takanawa was voiced by Alex Borstein, also white. The logic was simple. Voice acting is acting. You don't have to be the character to play the character. And for years, people saw that as part of the craft, part of the creative freedom of animation. But by 2020, that old way of thinking was crumbling. Conversations about representation and authenticity were front and center. People weren't just asking, does it sound right? They were asking, does the person behind the voice belong in that role? And here's the twist. Mike Henry wasn't pushed out. There was no boycott, no scandal. He stepped down voluntarily because he believed Cleveland's voice should come from a black actor. In Hollywood, that kind of self-removal was almost unheard of. The moment Henry's tweet hit, the internet lit up like a dumpster fire. Fans, critics, and even other actors jumped in, and it got ugly fast. Supporters praised him for doing the right thing. To them, Henry's move was a rare case of someone using their privilege to step aside. But not everyone was clapping. Critics accused him of caving to cancel culture. Then came the slippery slope argument. What's next? Only animals can voice animals? Only robots can voice robots? For some, it felt like the start of Hollywood putting artists into boxes they could never leave. The fight wasn't really about Cleveland Brown anymore. It was about what acting is supposed to be. Should it be pure imagination, free from identity? Or should it be rooted in lived experience, where representation matters as much as performance? Through all of it, Mike Henry stayed silent. Just that single statement and the storm it unleashed. And Henry's move didn't just spark a debate, it set off a chain reaction that ripped through Hollywood's animation world. Just days later, The Simpsons announced a historic change. White actors would no longer voice non-white characters. That meant no more Hank Azaria as Apu, no more Harry Shearer as Dr. Hibbert, a decades-long norm gone overnight. On Netflix's Big Mouth, Jenny Slate, a white actress, stepped down from voicing Missy, a mixed-race black girl. On Apple TV's Central Park, Kristen Bell walked away from the role of Molly, also a mixed-race character. One by one, the old rule book was being shredded. Suddenly, voice casting wasn't just about talent, it was about identity. For some, it felt like progress, finally giving opportunities to actors who had been sidelined for years. For others, it felt like Hollywood was rewriting the rules of acting itself. Every announcement fueled the same fight. This is overdue justice versus this is political correctness gone mad. And with each change, the industry felt more divided. But for Family Guy, one big question still hung in the air. Who could possibly replace the voice fans had known for over 2 decades? So when Mike Henry stepped down, the answer came from the unlikeliest place: YouTube. Meet Arif Zahir, a young creator whose Cleveland impressions had already gone viral long before Hollywood came calling. He wasn't just good, he was uncannily good.
Anybody there?
Hello?
I don't know what's going on. There's only one man on the map.
Talk again?
Hi.
What the fuck?
Why do you sound... Oh, it's because I'm black. Yeah.
What the fuck?
The token black guy in Call of Duty. Keep laughing it up. Ha ha ha. Yeah, whatever.
In late 2020, Family Guy made it official. Arif Zahir would take over as Cleveland Brown. Zahir didn't just sound like Cleveland. He brought something the role had never had before, the lived experience of a black performer playing a black character. For supporters of Henry's decision, this was exactly the kind of authenticity they'd been waiting for. When his first episodes aired, something unexpected happened. The transition was smooth, almost too smooth. The jokes landed, the warmth was there. Cleveland still felt like Cleveland. Sure, a few diehard loyalists swore Henry can never be replaced, but the majority of fans embraced Zahir almost instantly. For many, it wasn't just a voice match. It was proof that authentic casting could work without killing the magic. At its core, this was never just about Cleveland Brown. It was about what acting is supposed to be and what representation is supposed to mean. Some say acting is imagination. You don't have to be a superhero to play one. You don't have to be a soldier to play one. So why should voice acting be any different? Others say representation does matter, especially when entire groups have been historically shut out of opportunities. And in that light, letting a black character be voiced by a black actor isn't just casting, it's correcting a long-running imbalance. The truth? Both arguments hit hard, but here's what can't be denied. Mike Henry had the choice, and he used it to step aside, not because Hollywood forced him to, but because he believed it was the right move. Henry's 20-year run as Cleveland is still cemented in TV history. Nothing erases that. But passing the mic to Arif Zahir gave the role a kind of authenticity it had never had before. So, was this a win for diversity, or just another round of woke Hollywood politics? You tell me, because one thing's for sure, Cleveland Brown will never sound the same again.
Hey, y'all. Come and get your A&W cream soda floats.
Holy crap! That's a huge frickin' brand!
Ha 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 ha. Those are so his mannerisms. Ha 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 ha. Those are so his mannerisms. Glenn Quagmire, you are dead. Glenn Quagmire, you're dead. Glenn Quagmire, you're dead.
You like that?